thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Katie. Welcome if you're new, or welcome back if you've seen my videos before. Today I'm really excited because we're going to be doing the BookTube Newbie Tag. So this is a tag basically that allows for new booktubers to kind of introduce themselves, introduce kind of what their channel is going to be about, what we're kind of going to be talking about. I'm just going to start going into the questions. I've got it on a notebook because I'm recording on my phone. So one, why did you start this channel? So I love talking about books. It's like one of my favorite things. It's my main conversation starter. It's my kind of go-to. I just always want to talk about books. I have had a blog, so I started a blog in about 2020 and then stopped blogging on it a couple years ago maybe, and then restarted the new blog under Bookish Repos a year ago. But I found with that blog, I love writing, I love talking about books, but I wasn't reading a lot of other blogs. Like there's some blogs that I love and I always read, but for the most part I would just find myself going on to YouTube and just watching booktubers. So I thought it just made more sense for me to kind of change my format and go to video, because that's just something that I kind of prefer to watch. So it makes more sense for me to kind of make my content in this format. I am still going to be posting on my blog, but it's going to be a bit more infrequent. It'll mostly just be kind of the written book reviews, but I will still do book reviews on this channel. Number 2, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? So I think the great thing about books and being a reviewer is that everybody will bring their own opinions, own experiences to their review, and how they think about books, how they talk about books. I am also an aspiring author. I love writing. I don't think I'm particularly good, but I want to get better. So when I read, I do try to look critically at what the author is doing and either why I really like something or why I don't like something as much, and then I try to kind of figure that out, work through it, and then put that as part of my book reviews, and I think that it helps me, and I'm hoping that it'll help you as well if that's something that you're interested in. Another thing that I will be bringing to my channel is that I have disabilities. It doesn't, I recognize when there's representation, and that's really exciting to me, but it more informs kind of how I read and the time that I can give to reading, and any barriers in kind of being able to read the books that I want to read. So that could be with migraines. So if I have an aura migraine, I can't see, so I can't see a physical book to be able to read it. If I have a migraine where I actually have the pain, then I can't look at a book, I can't listen to an audiobook. I just kind of have to lie down in a dark room and wait for it to pass. I'm also hard of hearing, so I do listen to audiobooks, but they have to be in the right conditions. If there's a lot of background noise, or any background noise really, I can't hear it, I can't understand it. And yeah, so I just have to be in the right circumstances to be able to do that, and if not, then I can't. The final perspective part that I wanted to add to this is that I'm Canadian and I live in the UK, specifically the West Midlands in England, and I do want to promote Canadian literature, but also I do just kind of read quite widely. As part of that, I try to go to author events. I'm not going to any this month, but I'm going to try to start getting back into it, and just being able to talk about what the author spoke about, if I ask them any questions, stuff like that. I really like doing those, and yeah, they're always beneficial to me. So number 3, what are you most excited about for this new channel? To be honest, just getting to talk about books. It's just a lot of fun, so I hope you like hearing about books, because that's what this channel is going to be. So yeah, I'll go to the next question. So number 4, why do you love reading? So I've always kind of been a reader, and it's always been part of my life. I really like the escapism, especially like I read like a lot of fantasy and science fiction, so it just takes you to a new world, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Um, Also, I kind of touched on it before, but I love talking to people about books and the connections that reading and books can create with people. I've met some really good friends, like some of my closest friends, just by being like, hey, do you like books? Do you want to go to a reading event with me? And yeah, so it's just fantastic for that. During lockdown, I started a book club with a friend, for other friends and close family members, and we do read, and it's great, but it's mostly kind of an excuse to get together with people who geographically are quite far. And yeah, just every month we get to catch up. So we'll talk about the book for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, and for the next like 3 to 4 hours, we'll just kind of catch up on what's kind of been going on. And it's been such a great way to connect us to each other. And yeah, it's just, I look forward to it every month. It's really great. And yeah, and without books that wouldn't have happened. So yeah, they're great. They're fun to read, they're fun to talk about. Yeah, they do a lot of good. Go to the next question. So number 5, what book or series got you into reading? So I don't remember a lot of the books I read when I was like very young, but kind of the first book I remember being really interested in the structure and like how it was written was The Sight by David Clement Davies. It's about wolves. I don't remember a lot, but I remember going back to parts and just like rereading it and just being amazed. I didn't know how it worked. I was just amazed that it worked, and I was so like drawn to it. He also did Firebringer, which was about deer, I think. And that was a good series, a good book. They're standalones. It just kind of ignited my, wow, this is like written in a way that I just want to keep rereading it. I want to savor it. And yeah, I've just never kind of lost that. Kind of the standard millennial answers as well for fantasy lovers. I read Harry Potter, and also Aragorn. Really like those series. Haven't read them since I was a teenager, but yeah, those were good. And again, it was cultural as well as like getting to read the actual books. So like I talked to my friends about those books. We'd have like watch parties for Harry Potter at least, and it just kind of became more like the book themselves for the series I really enjoyed, but it was more than just the physical book. Number 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? So I started by doing this by writing a list of my favorite booktubers, but the list got too long, so I've decided not to do that, and I'll just kind of do a more vague answer. So the first one is to ask how they're doing, because I've been watching for a lot of them for so long. It kind of feels like, so I want to know how you're doing, like what's been going on, like let's catch up. And then the next question, as kind of somebody starting out booktube, would be how they balance booktube with their life, and making time for other people and reading the books that they're kind of setting out to read. And yeah, and as part of that, just what are their tips for reading more? I'm not worried about reading goals. I don't care about a number. But I would like to be able to get to more stories. So yeah, so just advice from people who have read a lot of books and how they kind of do that and maintain it would be very helpful. Number 7, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So for me, my biggest challenge is going to be self-doubt and imposter syndrome. I'm not a particularly confident person. So like I know when I'm like writing reviews, I'm like, is this even right? I'm not like, an authority on reviews, so what right do I have writing a book review? Kind of stuff like that. And like logically, I know it's silly, like it's good to hear a lot of opinions from different people who read, or if I were to kind of get something wrong in a book review, it's not the end of the world. And yeah, sometimes it's just a bit difficult to remind myself of that, but I'm hoping that with this channel I'll be able to work on that for myself. But yeah, but that is definitely my biggest challenge. Number 8, when did you start reading? I think I answered this earlier. Yeah, I've just been reading forever. Yeah, this can't really say more than that. So number 9, where do you read? So I read a bit everywhere. I usually have a book on me or my Kindle, or if not, I have my phone, which has all of the reading apps. And I do read everywhere. I read in this chair. This chair I got from a charity shop for £45. It's very, very comfortable. I read downstairs on the sofas. I read on my commute on the train. Yeah, just anywhere, everywhere. Always have a book. So number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? So I have touched on this one as well. So my favorite genres are fantasy and science fiction. I just love reading them. I was trying to say something profound, but I don't think I have anything profound to say about them. I really like reading them. I do read a bit of everything though, so I am currently reading Guide to How to Write, so a non-fiction book, A Court of Silver Flames, fantasy or romantasy. But I am starting to plan to read Pachinko, which is historical fantasy. Yeah, I'll read anything, but I prefer fantasy. Number 11, what does your book collection look like? So my book collection's a bit of a mess at the moment, just because I started to do a reshuffle and then was unsure, so then stopped, so they're all just kind of piled into bookshelves. I do have this bookshelf here, and that is my small bookshelf, and I have 2 big bookshelves downstairs that are pretty much full of books. So I have a lot of work to do. I'm going to be doing a video where I reorganize all my books and put them on the shelves, make them really pretty. I think I might make this a fantasy shelf, or like a favorite shelf, because I think it's going to focus in, like, be in my videos the most. I do have a writing shelf. It's not all of my writing books, but it's kind of on my desk. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, so that's just all my writing books, and my book ends. If you can see, Gyarados and Magikarp, I got those for Christmas a couple years ago, and I love them. So yeah, so I don't have my book collection all organized yet, but I will do that. And yes, keep an eye out if you are interested in that. Those are all of the questions in the tag. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. I really enjoyed filming it. It's just been a lot of fun to talk about my plans and the things that I like and books. So if you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more of my upcoming content, then feel free to subscribe. And yeah, thanks again. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I want to read.